Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Wednesday. I hope your day is off to a good start. Today I thought I would share the skincare products that I have found to currently at this point in time because it changes. But the skincare products that I have found that have had a big impact on helping me to control my super excessive oily skin. Those of you that watch my videos regularly are aware of the fact that the oil production on my face could power probably a small country if there was a way to harvest it. And that can be really frustrating. It's great in that I do find that my signs of aging are coming a little bit later than some of my friends who have a much drier skin type. So there are bonuses, I guess you could say, to having oily skin, but it's still frustrating, right? Like everybody's like unique skincare issues are frustrating to them. So, and I have spent the last, I don't know, since I was 12 years old, trying to figure out ways to control my excessive oil. Earlier in my life, that meant just drying my skin out. Like there was one point, gosh, was I still in middle school? I may have been a freshman in high school already, but I was putting toothpaste, like Crest toothpaste on my face to try to dry my skin out. Like I have tried every single thing in the book. I used to use really super harsh cleansers that, while they definitely created a dry skin situation for me, they also, in the long run, ended up ramping up my oil production even more because my skin was like, oh, it's like the Sahara up here. So let's just crank up some more oil and send it up to the surface. So there are definitely things that I've learned over the last few years that have helped me to control my oil in a much more healthy, productive way. And today I thought I would go ahead and just share a few of the products that I personally have found work really well for maintaining a somewhat shine-free face. I mean, by the end of the day, it's definitely time to wash my face. You know, like there are times where I will blot, but because of the measures that I've taken with some of these products, I am able to prolong, you know, how early in the day I typically have to blot my face. So anyway, just thought I'd share. I know a lot of you guys have a totally different skin type from me, so this may not be applicable to you, but hopefully these suggestions are good for those of you that deal with combination, oily, super oily, or like just maybe you just have an oily nose. I don't know. That sounds so nice, just having an oily nose. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, first thing, I'm going to start with cleansing. Here's the thing. Do not purchase a super harsh, super aggressive cleanser for your face if you have oily skin. I know that that is kind of the first inclination, is to go out and buy something that's super sudsy and that promises to like remove all traces of oil from your face. It's super counteractive, and I've seen it in my own skin. If you start with a super aggressive cleanser, it's going to dry your skin out and it's just going to exacerbate the problem in the end. So find a nice gentle cleanser. I still prefer a cleanser that has some foaming type action to it. But right now I'm using the Dr. Loretta Gentle Hydrating Cleanser. And this might be a surprise that I'm using a hydrating cleanser for my oily skin, but this is super, super gentle, you guys. This has marine peptides in it. It has white chamomile. It's really nourishing to the skin, but it also does a good job of cleaning my skin. Also, the thing that you want to do if you wear makeup, especially if you wear makeup on a daily basis, is to first remove that makeup, whether you're using a cleansing balm or something like Philosophy Purity, or just something to initially remove the makeup from your face, and then go in with a second cleanse. But again, just making sure that whatever you're using is gentle, is actually hydrating and nourishing to the skin. So I will link all the things that I mentioned here down below, but really the first step is to pick a gentle cleanser and not something that is going to strip and further irritate your skin. The second is to, when you are doing your skincare routine, is make sure that you start hydrating the skin as soon as you are done with cleansing your face. So what I've been doing lately is taking my toner and, oh shoot, I forgot to bring it in. I brought this in. I've been using the Paula's Choice Skin Balancing Toner. And what I do is I just put some drops into my hand and work it into my skin right away. That is going to help kind of rebalance the skin and keep it from immediately like evaporating moisture. So while your skin is still damp from washing your face, go ahead and pat that in. And I've been doing that morning and night. And again, anything that you can do to keep your skin from getting bone dry is gonna be key here. So, in terms of different treatments, I do find that using exfoliators is really important for me, because one of the things that happens with my oily skin, because I have enlarged pores, it's very easy for me to get sebaceous filaments. It's very easy for me to develop blackheads. So I work really hard on keeping my skin thoroughly exfoliated, and I like to use stuff like these Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Extra Strength Daily Peel Pads. It's a two-step process. This is going to help to exfoliate your skin, the top layers, keep those pores nice and clean, get that junk and debris out of there. Chemical exfoliants are really the best option. I am someone who does still enjoy a manual exfoliation, and I actually use my Clarisonic with my cleanser every single night. I only use the Clarisonic at night. I don't use it twice a day, but I just find that it makes a big difference on like getting a deeper into the pore type cleaning. So, but anyway, keeping your skin exfoliated is important. So these have been fantastic for me to help to control that oil so that when it does flow through, I'm able to just wash it away. It's not getting trapped in my pores and clogging and leading to other issues like blackheads, breakouts, things like that. So I do like to use a beta hydroxy acid pretty much every day on my skin. The Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid is a really great option. This has salicylic acid in it. What this is going to do is, again, it's going to keep your pores nice and clear so that when oil does come through, it is able to flow and not clog your pores. So it really is very easy to use something like this. I use it typically mostly at night, again, because it is a very nice liquidy product. I can just pour this into the palm of my hand and pat it into my skin. Typically something that I'll use right after the toner if I'm not doing like an exfoliating treatment like this. In terms of masks for oily skin, there's a couple recommendations that I brought in here. Again, one of the main things is don't dry your skin out. So I actually like using hydrating masks on my oily skin. I find that it again helps to nourish and hydrate the skin, and it doesn't cause my my oil glands or whatever to continue to overproduce. Now, don't get me wrong. It's nice to every once in a while do a nice clay mask and just kind of draw everything up to the surface and get it over with. But immediately after you do kind of a drying clay type mask, you should go in with a really nice moisturizer afterwards. But the Strivectin Cloudberry Moisture Mask is fantastic, super hydrating, does a great job of balancing my skin again and adding that moisture that is so important. Also, you can do something like the low pH overnight mask, which has BHA. This is from CosRx. This is definitely a little bit more affordable than the Strivectin, but again, the idea is look for something that's really gentle, something that contains some hydrating, soothing ingredients like this product does, and keep those pores nice and clean and open. This is so easy to use, and I think it's somewhere in like the $20 price range. Again, a really good thing. Most of you that have oily skin probably deal with enlarged pores, and it's just important to keep those suckers clean and open for the oil to flow through. Now, in terms of specific treatments, you guys have heard me talk about niacinamide. The Resist 10% Niacinamide Booster from Paula's Choice, which I've used for years, never really actually had an impact on controlling the oil on my face, but I have found that the new 20% does control my oil. So I didn't notice like a huge, massive difference in most of my pores. I noticed a decrease in the size of my pores on my nose finally using this 20%. But really the main benefit that I'm finding from this is that it's helping to control my oil more. But it also has soothing, hydrating ingredients in the formula as well. So it's not like it's drying my skin out. So it's just kind of basically tricking the oil to not having to overproduce. So this has been a go-to for me. Maybe the 10% is enough for you. The 10% did have a huge impact on improving the size and look of my pores over time. And now the 20%, which I just ordered a backup of yesterday because there was a 20% off sale. I don't know if it's still happening now, but this controlling my oil makes this like a huge part of my routine now, so that's important to me. Other products that have helped to lessen the oil production has been the Alpha Beta Pore Perfecting and Refining Serum from Dr. Dennis Gross. You guys have heard me talk about that product quite a bit. I actually just finished my first bottle of that, and this is my backup, so loving that. If you need something more intense, the BHA 9 is something that I have used for years as well. This is what initially cleared up all of my blackheads. It took time. You cannot use this for a week and be like, my blackheads aren't gone, I give up. Like, you gotta give it some time, guys, and you have to be consistent with your skincare. If you're consistent over time, you will see results. I think that's the biggest thing. Don't be too aggressive, but also don't, like, you know, get all laid back about it either, I guess. What's the best word that I'm looking for here? Yeah, don't get laid back about your skincare. Just kind of keep with it and be consistent. You will see results, but this definitely, I used this last night all over my face, and this was all that I used, and it's nice because it has kind of like an oily texture to it, so I feel like it's also hydrating my skin at the same time. Tretinoin. It is definitely proven to help to slow oil production, and I think that that is also something, but I did start the tretinoin before starting this, and it wasn't until I started using this that I really started noticing the decrease in my oil production, but I think the two together are pretty magical for me personally, so that is important for me. And also, pick a good moisturizer for your skin type. This one here, honestly, I've really been enjoying this one, and this is crazy inexpensive. This is under $15. It's from Good Molecules. It's their silicone-free priming moisturizer. Comes in this really nice pump. It is very hydrating. I don't think it is like the most hydrating for like the driest skin types out there, but if you have combination, normal, oily, very oily skin type, try this out. There's no silicone in this. It's very soothing. It, again, adds that moisture into the skin. Make sure that you're adding your moisturizer while your skin is still kind of damp from all of the other stuff that you've been doing. So putting your BHA on, your toners, all of that kind of stuff, just, you know, lock that moisture in. And another thing that really I swear by is using a facial oil. I know that's probably counterintuitive to a lot of people, and it was for me the longest time, but it makes a big difference. I will sometimes put just a few drops of the squalane oil in with my moisturizer, or sometimes I will use this immediately after applying my moisturizer just directly onto the skin. Sometimes I will use this in place of a moisturizer. Like if I don't feel like using something like this, I will just use this at the end of my routine. And I have found that, again, drenching my skin with moisture causes my skin to just overall, over time, I have noticed to produce much less oil. So all that being said, usually towards the end of the day, there is a little bit of shine in my forehead, my cheeks, and my nose, and my chin, because it is everywhere on my face. So in the past, sometimes I would just use like just a tissue or something to mop up the excess oil. But I have these are like a beauty blender, but do you see how it's flat? So you use this to absorb excess oil. So in the areas where you are shiny, you just kind of take it and press it into the skin. It's going to absorb any excess oil. It's not going to disturb your makeup. So if you're at work in the middle of the day and you're seeing a bunch of oil busting through, this is kind of nice because it is washable. You wash this with soap and water. So then you let it dry and you can reuse it. Oh, you can see a little bit of oil on there. Look at that. Let's keep mopping. But you easily wash this up and then you can reuse it, which is nice because it's a little more environmentally friendly maybe than just going through tissues all day long to mop up your face. So something like this is nice as well. And again, it's reusable. So these are my current go-to personal suggestions for things that have really helped to make my skin look a lot less shiny, and I know it's nice to have a glow. You certainly don't have to eliminate all of the oil from your face. And again, I don't recommend that, but you know, when it comes to like your makeup just kind of sliding off your face, there might be some tweaks that you can make with some of these products or similar products, or changing up your routine just a little bit in the way that you do things that could help to slow the oil production and make your skin look a little bit more normal, whatever normal is. I feel like there are very few people that have normal skin. Everybody has something about their skin that they're kind of either self-conscious or annoyed about. But yeah, anyway, these are my suggestions. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'll put links for everything down below. Let me know if I left anything out. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, that was it for today. I'm gonna go do a little bit of homeschooling with Stella now, and yeah, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, which is gonna be really exciting. It is a tag that Penny from Penn Smith Skincare and I created together, and we're gonna be tagging a bunch of YouTubers on Instagram, so look out on Instagram. You might get tagged, so anyway, we have some really good questions in there, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. So anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.